Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Sunday the 25th of October. Thanks for joining me. I'm using the Herbal Tarot again for today's reading. Let's see what the cards have to say about Sunday and what energy you'll be working with today. So let's have a look. First card is the Ace of Cups. That's always a positive card to get in a reading. Then we have the Seven of Wands, Wild Ginger. We had Ginger yesterday. Today we got Wild Ginger. And then we have Lady Slipper, and that's the Queen of Swords. Okay, let's see what this is. First of all, the Ace of Cups. You can see this hand coming out of a cloud, handing you a cup overflowing with water, dripping down onto a lotus flower. The Dove of Peace flying around with an olive twig there. And it's a card that represents the universe loving you and giving you everything that you ever needed or wanted. The lotus flower is a fabulous symbol because it has to work its way through all the mud at the bottom and work its way up through to the surface of the water. And when it gets to the top, it opens up and it seems like this ethereal, beautiful, otherworldly thing. Where the truth is, it's a plant like any other that has to work especially hard, and through some sort of, I don't know, evolution or whatever has made the lotus flower the way it is, it turns out so beautifully at the top of the water, even though it's had this really tough life. The dove with the olive twig, I think that's from the Bible, where God floods the world. Noah's on his boat, and a dove comes back with a twig in its beak, and it's kind of a symbol that the water is going down and that the earth is now, well, very peaceful after that, and it's available again. So this is really a fresh start. It's about peace, being able to do what it is you want and manifesting your life in the way you want it to be. And then we have a kind of sun peering over the top of this chalice here, and it can represent enlightenment or divine love coming down. It can also represent self-love and you really having this cup that's overflowing with positive energy, and it's showing you that you matter and that you're important, that your struggle hasn't been in vain, that, you know, at the end of this journey, you never know when you're going to have the breakthrough, but when you do break through, then all the suffering and the work is worth it, and you get to a point where you can really flourish and thrive. So Lotus, in terms of the herbal meanings, where are we? We got Wands, Pentacles, where are the Cups? Cups. Swords, okay, Cups. Ace of Cups. The peduncle is used as an astringent for bleeding, okay, something else, retention. The stamens are used for premature ejaculation, involuntary seminal emission, nocturnal emission, frequent urination, okay, I didn't see that coming. The seeds are used for spontaneous ejaculation, more ejaculation, vaginal discharge, insomnia, palpitations, chronic diarrhea. I love it. God, what a nightmare for the Ace of Cups. The plume is used for nervousness, thirst, hypertension. The root is eaten as a food and is useful for strengthening the lungs and heart. Okay, so every bad thing that can basically happen to you, the lotus flower is good for healing. If any plant knows hardship and difficulty, it's the lotus flower, and it's really helpful in supporting you to overcome some of the most difficult and unpleasant things that can happen in your body. So 2 thumbs up for the Ace of Cups. It's super strong, and it's about self-love, even if things aren't perfect. You know, in my experience, when we fail or when things are wrong with our bodies, we don't just say, oh, let me accept the fact that my knee hurts today and I can't leave the house because I'm in so much pain. We kind of tend to blame ourselves for it. It's like, oh, you see, my body's letting me down again. I can't do anything right. And the Ace of Cups and the lotus flower is saying that it doesn't matter if you're ill or if you've had problems or if you're struggling emotionally or you feel spiritually disconnected. The hardships are part of the journey, and it doesn't matter how difficult things are, when you get through those, you can really flourish and thrive. Next is the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands is someone who has to push through and has to work hard, and it's about being consistent and never giving up. So it's a similar message to the Ace of Cups. Let's see what Wild Ginger is about. Okay, so we got the Seven of Wands. Stimulant, anti-rheumatic, so anti-inflammatory, for delayed menses, poor blood circulation, rheumatic complaints. So pain, inflammation, lack of energy. Wild Ginger helps with all of that, and it gives you the power to keep on going, to push on through. So everything is saying that if you believe in yourself, or if you have faith that there is a point to your life, that the hardships haven't just been to make you suffer on planet Earth, that there's a rhyme and reason for it, and your journey is your journey, and you keep the faith and say, do you know what, I may be 60 or 70 and everything has been awful and terrible, but that doesn't mean that the next 10 years are going to be awful and terrible. And that's kind of unlikely anyway. If you look back on a life like that, things may have been 99% bad, but there will be 1% of things that are good, because we live on planet duality, so you can't get the one without the other. So a trick to help you motivate yourself as well is to focus on the good stuff and to be grateful for that, because it expands it and makes it grow even more. And also, if things have been that bad, give yourself a pat on the back and say, do you know what? No one else supported me, but you did. You're still here. You got through all those difficulties by yourself. You did it. So well done. You're strong, you're reliable, and you know that you are your own best friend. You're always going to be able to rely on me, because look at where we've been. So it really hits home very powerfully that you are a survivor, that you're strong, that you can take whatever comes your way, and that you're really through the worst of it because you have such stamina and you're so resilient. You've learned how to overcome obstacles, so future obstacles are really irrelevant because you're going to overcome them anyway. Finally, we've got the Lady Slipper, we've got the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a card that's about making decisions and tough decisions and really being clear and logical and not looking at things from some sort of skewed emotional perspective, but saying, in this case, look at where I've come from and look at how hard I work and look at all the problems I've had. I'm going to make the decision that I'm going to be my own best ally, that there's an infinite possibility of good things coming my way, and I'm going to put myself right there so I can experience all of those good things. I'm going to listen to my own feelings. I'm going to listen to what I think is right, because I'm the expert in my life. I'm the authority figure in my life, and I know what's best for me. Let's look at the Lady Slipper, which is kind of nice because the Queen of Swords can seem somewhat harsh usually. Sometimes she's even depicted as the evil queen from Snow White. And here we've got this beautiful woman with this very feminine flower there behind her. And the Queen, Lady Slipper, nervine, tonic for hysteria, pain and all nervous afflictions and premenstrual syndrome. So a lack of clarity, a lack of reason, being hysterical. Didn't Freud call everyone hysterical who had some sort of mental issue? It's the opposite of being rational and focused on the facts and making good decisions. So the Queen of Swords is really the antidote to anything that will drag you down emotionally and that doesn't make sense. So you're being supported emotionally and spiritually, saying, do you know what? Everything's going to be fine and great. And look at how far you've come. Keep going. You're almost there. The Seven of Wands, the suit goes up to 10, okay? So let's say the surface of the water is the 10 of Wands or the 8 of Wands. You're almost there. You just have to keep going, keep pushing, and keep loving yourself into moving forward. Just keep living, basically, and realize that you're right and you're not too sensitive. You're not being hysterical. You're not being irrational. You're looking at your past experience. You're mixing that up with your feelings, and you're saying, hey, this is my life. This is what's happened, and that's what's right for me. And because I take ownership of my experience, I'm not saying it was everyone else's fault, or I'm not blaming other people. I'm saying it is what it is. It is what it has been. And that doesn't mean anything about the future. And I'm going to choose to make the future amazing and wonderful. And I'm going to listen to myself as the authority figure. And with that, you're guaranteed to make really great decisions about yourself, about your life and future. And it seems like things are going to get much easier now. You've hit a plateau, you've overcome the difficulties, or you've almost overcome them. You're out of the woods practically. And now you're entering a period in your life where things quieten down a little bit and they become less problematic and more beautiful. And you can kind of rest on the surface of the water and you can just shine your light and be beautiful and say, this is who I am, warts and all. And there's real beauty in that, in my experience. Because there is beauty in all of our experiences, whether we've had the best lives or the worst lives or somewhere in the middle. Number-wise, we've got the ace, which is 1, and 7 is 8, and another 1 is 9. 9 is spirituality and completion. So you're almost at the end of this journey of struggle. So ask yourself, what is it that's been this huge struggle for me in my life? This chronic struggle. Maybe it's mental health, or maybe it's relationships, or maybe it's work or health or something. We all struggle with something, and bring that into the forefront of your mind today and say, I've worked with this for my whole life. I'm not going to resist this anymore. I'm going to embrace it as part of my journey. And that in itself just takes the power out of it and takes the wind out of it. It's like, and you're able to accept it, and you're able to make new, better decisions about your future. That's amazing. So have a look at what's really been plaguing you for a while and how you can let that go now for good. Have an amazing day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, hit like, share the video online, and click on subscribe to be part of the channel. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology, as well as my intuition. So if you're at a crossroads, if you want to figure out what to leave behind and what to move forward with, what your ideal job is, where to live, relationships, health, any questions at all, then just get in touch with me if you want another kind of a pair of eyes to look at your circumstances and see what options you've got moving forward. Then please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.